What's going on, America? This is Kevin from Kevin's Corner. About to go in and get my salsa on. That's right, a little salsa dancing. Yeah, it's a good way to keep the cardio up and have fun doing it. Yeah, I mean, nobody at my age wants to be on a treadmill or running around the neighborhood with all of that damage that takes place on your knees from the impact of the concrete. Nobody wants to do that. So why not just get out there and salsa dance? You don't even know you're having fun and losing weight at the same time. You don't even realize it. Just drops off. Anyway, but before I went in, I had a thought about, the Democrats, and they're holding on to this whole John Bolton is going to save us. The same John Bolton that they hated and said that he couldn't be trusted and he's a war hawk and, all of those things. That same John Bolton, because you know how the Democrats are. They'll take anybody who hates Trump and forget that they once hated the person who hates Trump. So now he's their last dying savior. And they're throwing out all these things, these accusations and these things about leaks. And John Bolton said that this person was in the meeting and President Trump actually meant that we ain't doing nothing for Ukraine unless they investigate Joe Biden. But John Bolton himself has not come out and said these things. These are just rumors. Look at all these rumors around me every day. All the rumors just circling around and things like that. So I figured that to try to swim through all the murky water and stuff like that, and I'm going to use an old ancient technique and art to maybe come to some type of understanding or conclusion. Please, ladies and gentlemen, if you are a liberal, please don't try this at home because you could hurt yourself, okay? All right, because see, I'm a professional. But those that watch my channel and you understand what's going on, feel free to try this exercise because, it's not going to hurt you. You've been using it for a long time, but the liberals haven't. So I'm going to use an old ancient technique. Hold on for a second. Let me make some cool old Japanese, monk sounds so it'll sound deeper. Hold on for a second. See, when you do that, it makes everything sound a lot deeper. So now I've channeled something that's a very dangerous art for anybody who's extremely liberal or a social justice warrior or suffering from Trump derangement syndrome. It's called the art of common sense. Okay, so with that being said, let me use some common sense. So John Bolton, when the Democrats in the House were investigating this whole impeachment thing and they subpoenaed John Bolton or even threatened to subpoena him, his response was very clear. I ain't coming. You're going to have to take it to court. Now, why would Johnny Bolton during that time be adamant about I ain't coming? You're going to have to go to war to get me to come. Now, the book wasn't ready to be released at that point. And so John Bolton was like, no, I'm not going to do it. But then all of a sudden, when it gets kicked over into the Senate, who volunteers to come to court? Who, for whatever reason, unless they have a motive, say, ooh, if you call me, I come. That's like somebody who, for whatever reason, your mom say, don't go and get wet because we are about to go to church and you got your church Sunday clothes on. And the kids are outside being squirted by, one of the older teenagers with the water hose. And that kid goes out there and for some reason volunteers to walk past or in front of the water hose for no reason. Unless he wanted to get wet, why is he doing that? He got all other paths to go around. But instead, he's like, I got to make it through that area right there. And he's telling the person, don't squirt me because my mama said I couldn't get wet as he walks in front of the water hose. So the guy's going, yeah, go ahead, man. Go on, little dude. I ain't going to squirt you. You know you're going to get squirted. When he came out and said, if y'all want me to come and testify, I will. Now, come on. What sparked the change of heart? What made Johnny Bolton just decide to volunteer as a witness? Who does that? Who wants to come into court and be drug in and have to sit through all of that testimony and be scrutinized and all that stuff unless you have a motive? I'm just saying, unless you have a motive. Now, I think perhaps that motive could be the book, but Once again, I'm going to go back and channel some common sense. You know, because when you're using your technique, every movement so fast that it cuts the wind. See? Okay, so here's my common sense that John Bolton and his crew maybe aren't using. So now you got this book, and John Bolton has been known as a stark conservative all of his life. Now, you have all these liberals out there who don't like John Bolton or don't know John Bolton. You got all the Democrats who care less about John Bolton or whatever. Then his main audience would have been conservatives. But yet you, for whatever reason, decide to try to stick it to the president, or at least allow whoever is leaking this information without you coming out and combating it. You allow this to kind of linger and potentially damage the president. But by doing that, you're probably going to offend a lot of the audience that may have bought your book, but they see you now as a traitor and someone that's allowing yourself to be used by the Democrats and the liberal media to destroy the president. So in essence, what you're doing is you're taking the gun and shooting yourself in the foot. Because I know one thing, I'm not going out to buy the book. And I'm sure many other people who see what's going on and asking the question is, why is John Bolton doing this? Does he have an axe to grind? Is he bitter? Is he butthurt because he got fired? Why would you say, you know what? They're not calling me in to do this. They're not asking me, but I'm going to volunteer. I'm going to let them know if you need me now, I'm willing to come. And then not come out and dispute these quote unquote leaks that I say we didn't do it, you know, not going to. But here's the other thought as far as common sense. Okay, so he writes this book and he does it. It had to be quick because it seemed like he just got fired. And I don't think the book was in the midst of being written while he was working at the White House. So in a few months, I guess, he wrote this book. And somehow you're telling me that this section of the book addressing Trump, talking to Ukraine, just happened to end up in there. I probably would be more inclined to think that probably wasn't even a part of the book until the Democrats created this narrative. And John Bolton said, well, you know what? I can insert something like that in here to make it a little more controversial, or at least allow the Democrats to pimp me out and drop out that type of rhetoric or theory or rumor that it's in my book, create this mystique around my book, and it might generate more book sales. And then when people get the book, find out, well, that's not what John Bolton said, because see, nobody has actually read the book. That's what's crazy to me. So we don't know what John Bolton said, but here's the thing. It doesn't matter, because see, Johnny Bolton has not come out and disputed what the rumor is. So either he's complicit in allowing that to linger in hopes of it damaging Trump and generating more interest for his book, or it's actually in his book. Because if it wasn't, he should come out and say, that's not what I was saying. No, I don't know what they're talking about. So I think at the end of the day, he's going to end up hurting his book sales, because I don't foresee a lot of liberals rushing out there to buy his book just to find that one section that talks about Trump in the White House on the Ukraine phone call. And I think a lot of conservatives are going to say, I don't want to hear what John Bolton got to say, considering what he just tried to do and how he just buddied up with the Democrats for no reason. Okay, so that's just my thought. I was thinking it through, like, wait a minute, man. When did John Bolton decide to get on board with, yeah, you want me? Yeah, I'll come and tell. But before it was like, nah, man, I ain't trying. That's like somebody volunteering for jury duty. You know, well, yeah, I would like to come down and spend 4 or 5 days just sitting in the jury. You know, that's crazy. I can't believe that they did that. That's a lot of evidence. I think that he's guilty. You know, unless you got an axe to grind or a motive. And I think he got a motive. All right. So with that being said, that's just me using the art of common sense. That's it. And I'm sure all of you watching this video do it all the time, except for those who watch my video and give it the thumbs down. I'm like, that person must be void of common sense. Anyway, God bless you all. Check me out every Wednesday night, 7:30 live in Kevin's Corner on Facebook, YouTube, and my radio blog talk show. Don't forget to hit like, share, subscribe, and the notification button. If you want to donate to Kevin and Kevin's Corner, feel free. There is a link below this video. And when you hit the notification button. Make sure it's set for all notifications, and also make sure that you're still subscribed. Check out Extreme Tees. Put my name, Kevin, in the promo code. You get a 20% discount. And you can find me on Facebook and the Twitter. All right, God bless you. See you next time in Kevin's Corner. And don't forget to carry some common sense with you into the week. God bless.